I will fight with honor.
This is a pretty decent curve. Let's just keep. I'm on the coin, so that's not a coin doubling imp. Got the freaking taunt hammer. Oh well.
Someone call.
Wow. Didn't that turn suck? Or am I mistaken? So I can go Secret Keeper Repentance, I have 2/2/3s into his 2/1s. So probably at the end of his turn, whatever he develops into my 2/3. I can also just play a Framebot, trade off. I'll have a 1/3, so that's just worse, right? And I even get to redeem a 1/1 with this line. Is there any reason for me to trade? Going face enables Happy Ghoul, but I know he doesn't have Happy Ghoul because he Voodoo Doctored. Bunglemancer's still a couple turns out. Chain Gang is a turn out. Probably would have played Voidwalker here if he had it. Let's get 2 free damage.
Someone call. It's playtime.
Drew the Happy Ghoul. But he tapped, so my face damage didn't really affect things. So if I play the hammer here, I'm not going to have something to coin a War Gear onto next turn. But the coin's pretty good at enabling the unpowered Mauler, so maybe that's okay. Let's just kill Happy Ghoul. And then do I want to kill this because of a Chain Gang? He's Soul Infusioned on 1, so there's actually a really good chance that there's a 4/5 Chain Gang coming down here. Which was maybe a reason to just like play the Framebot so I could coin War Gear onto it next turn.
Truth is found in death.
What the hell did he Soul Infusion? He didn't play it already, did he? I feel like I would have noticed how shitty my trades were if he played a Soul Infusion thing.
For justice.
Maybe he Soul Infusioned his Omega Agent. So I need to kill him before turn 10.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
So I'm definitely going coin Glow-Tron and one of the 5s here. I feel like I don't want to invest too much into this guy since he's kind of hard to use. So I'd probably just like slam a War Gear on this. And maybe throw the Glow-Tron on this guy. Or I could even just play like Glow-Tron Zilliax as a standalone minion. It would be a 4/5 rush thing. Maybe that's actually not that bad. And then I can just War Gear this thing next turn since I'll have a big taunt in the way.
Converting stored energy. Unity for precision.
So I kill both of his things, and I have a Taunted Yeti. Like, how does he deal with this? And then even if he does, I have a 6/10 next turn. I feel like this was good, but there was a surprisingly high number of permutations last turn. Or combinations, I guess.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Man, love to see that clear. Wait, he had this thing the whole time? So confused. But this has to be good, right? The snail was actually pretty good into that board, but this is also just really good.
Why do you call?
So what, I want to like go in here, And then I could go Auto Defense Matrix Noble Sack. What if I just play this thing? He seems pretty good. I could wait and play the Snail with the Auto Defense Matrix. That's probably super obnoxious.
Let me think.
I'm still not sure how this works. I feel like every time I feel like I know what I'm doing, I like play the Defense Matrix first and then the Noble Sack and then the Defender still gets bubbled. But let's do it like this. Maybe this guy ends up with the Divine Shield and the deflected attack. Definitely did not want to see the Solarium here.
In the light's name.
Okay, the bubble does go off first. I mean, that just makes sense, right? Why am I confused? I don't know. Hearthstone's a hard game. Full of complex interactions.
Must destroy. Runs out.
Wow, Mossy Horror is really good against my deck. Happy to see that. These seem like obvious trades. Hero power. Probably do want to play the Hidden Wisdom. It procs pretty often at this point in the game. And I guess I just want to play both taunts. Like, if they both go into the Righteous Protector instead of the Snail is just still good. And he can send one into the Snail, the other into the Righteous Protector, that's still good. Just protect my 4-2 and my 6-2 so they can get some good trades.
In the light's name.
Give me those cards. Another Hidden Wisdom and a Bellringer Sentry. Oh, this actually didn't go that well for me. I have mana to do everything, so I'm just gonna do everything, I guess. Second Hidden Wisdom's probably pretty likely to go off next turn as well. So how do I trade here? Looks like my 1/1 doesn't really do anything. Do I even want a full trade? I can push 11 face damage here. Like, go in here. I'll have no taunts, and he's showing 9, 15, but I have a Noble Sack up. I won't be able to die. He's gonna have to do a lot of trading. Doesn't really seem like he trades that favorably into my board. There's no real reason to not make this attack, even if I'm trading. Like, everything I'm trading with dies. I think I want the 10 face damage.
Must destroy. Get down. Runs out. Mushroom power.
Oh lord. Double Fungal Mancer is like the nightmare here. Holy crap. Well, War Gear and Sunkeeper Tarim are lethal. Call to Arms is still pretty good.
Reporting for duty. To battle.
Have to make... I don't know, these trades just seem so good. I'm not playing Leroy or anything, so I don't think getting a few more points of damage in is necessarily that good. But maybe it was just because I had 7 minions in play. 1/1 into a 6/1 just seemed real nice, though. I do have to keep in mind, though, that one of my minions, the one he just killed, I'm actually not that likely to be able to attack with next turn. And even with this setup, the Tarim and the Warrior are both still lethal. Unidentified Maul is lethal sometimes. Seen both chain gangs, right? Alright, well, I don't know what he just soul infusioned and then didn't play, but I'll take it. Maybe it's a second Mossy Horror or something?
Versus Rexa! Let the hunt begin. I will fight with honor.
How good is Gastropod early on against Hunter? It can kill the Devilsaur Egg and the Devilsaur that pops out. That's pretty nice. It's good against Dire Mole. I think I like it better than Framebot.
I'll never tell.
Alright, let's coin out the Gastropod. Punishes him super hard if he doesn't have a secret, and it just trades if he does. Maybe this is a freezing trap if he didn't make the attack. Snake. Okay. Let's drop a 2/4 here. The Taunt Hammer kinda sucks.
I'll never tell.
Let's do this. We float a little bit of mana, but buff the Secret Keeper, get to attack. Secret Keeper could definitely be trouble for him, although he didn't play a secret last turn, so he probably just doesn't have one, would be my guess. Oh, okay. The secret came from the left side of his hand, and he hero powered last turn, so he must just have not thought it was good. Which does indicate to me that it's very likely to be a freezing trap. But I think I'm still gonna make the attack here. Because if it's not, there's a lot of payoff, and actually it turned out it wasn't. But it kind of looks like next turn I want to strap War Gear onto this and attack. And if I'm doing that, this thing won't be able to attack. This thing is probably getting value traded by the mole if I leave it alone, and then I'll just have to attack with this anyway. So it just didn't seem like that great of a result in the end. Do I want to play this here? Taunt Mole sucks. I mean, I can kill like 2 of his guys. Throw down a Righteous Protector to block the other 2, and then maybe I can drop a good Sunkeeper Tarim the following turn. Oh no, because I have to give all my guys taunt, so you can just value trade through the Righteous Protector. Let's just do this, I guess.
To battle.
Not Freezing Trap. Could be Explosive, I guess. It's Explosive, I definitely don't want to do this. It's a Wandering Monster, I guess I want this guy to go in anyway. Let's just play it safe and kill his dudes. I'm kind of looking at a turn 7 Righteous Protector Sunkeeper Tarim, which might be a pretty relevant swing turn.
I'll never tell.
So for this, I've had this big Framebot and an unpowered Mauler, I believe that's it. This might actually be a pretty reasonable card to play next turn.
The light dims. I comply. But we fight.
I want to play the Hammer. I don't think there's any reason to not taunt up my recruit. There's already a 1/1 that he can send stuff into if he wants. I would have loved to not taunt this, but... Although honestly, by taunting it, it does allow me to just revive it at full health next turn if I want. But a little bit questionable. Alright, I think I like Subject 9 better than the Endless Army here. The Endless Army only hits like one really good target. Let's kill this thing so I can play my secrets. Hidden Wisdom, how likely is that to actually proc? He does have a lot of 2-cost cards in his hand from his own Subject 9. I don't really see much reason to play Redemption or Noble Sack here. I'll just play the other two. What's this one do? Ooh, Silverhand Recruits, that's a good one. Alright, so I think I just want to play stuff here. And then next turn is a big Tarim to hopefully win the game. So this guy dies, but he gets redeemed. Wow, that's disgusting. It's still a good Sunkeeper Tarim though, which might be more disgusting. I do have a decision to make here. If I swing into this thing first, that means I can kill it with the weapon. But if it happens to be Snake Trap number 2, I get super punished. Is it ever Snake Trap number 2? I think probably not. Venom Strike is well within my calculations. I guess I'll go face. If it's Wandering Monster, the guy probably dies. If it's explosive, I can't really play around it any better than this. His steady shot's gone, so I'm feeling relatively safe at 9. Although I do think this is a double kill command deck. Got Echo, huh? And Rush, yep. Might actually end up being pretty bad for me. The Noble Sack breakpoint on that is actually super awkward. But then the Tarim is really good here. Why do you take Wind Fury on the hell? So if I play this, I actually pull a lot of mechs off of it, which means I'll get an extra mech off the Kangor's Endless Army, but I'm less likely to get the big boy. I have 3 non-mechs versus 4 mechs. Only 2 dead mechs, I believe. Not even that likely that more than one of the mechs would die this turn. So I can like trade one off and sneak a little bit more value out of this next turn. Plus if I play this, I'm just all the more likely to hit like a Wargear or a Ziliax next turn, which makes my army even better potentially. I think I like this line. It was a little bit close though, I think. Don't bloat bat me, bro. Alright, what you got? Another Venom Strike. So this one guarantees more mechs. Probably just want to drop the Endless Army here. Hopefully I didn't miscalculate. I believe this should give me 3 mechs exactly. Well, with the tracking, there's a decent chance he'll trigger my Hidden Wisdom here. Okay. Give me those 2 cards. So 1/1 into here seems good. And then I could drop the Call to Arms, trade here. I get 6 face damage. This does still pull 3 things, surprisingly. Could also strap the Ziliax somewhere, but I don't think anywhere really makes that much sense. I think I like playing Call to Arms here. If I hold the Redemption... Well, the Redemption is my last spell, so I think I do want to hold it. It's pretty good with the Gastropod, but I want these guys to be able to attack. Like, holding this means it deals 4 damage. That just seems good. Also, I kind of lucked out on the Gastropod positioning if he hits another Cave Hydra. Alright, Dead Snail. Only got 5 mana, so probably not a scary Bloat Bat. Could be a Stone Tusk Boar Bloat Bat, but I don't think that actually cleans up too much. Looks like I'm gonna have, what, 5, 6, 12, 15, 18 damage this turn. War Gear is 2 extra since I do need to play the Redemption. I can't play 3 of those. Okay, it's Taunt Poisonous, but I got Bananas. So I strap War Gear on here, that's 7, and then I need 15 more. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I believe this is exact lethal. The way I traded probably wasn't great if I miscounted, trading off my big boy. But yep, exacties. I've actually played a completely unreasonable amount of games with different versions of this deck, and overall the win rate has been pretty abysmal, but I think this particular list is a step in the right direction. The main problem with the earlier versions of the deck was that it was just literally impossible to beat Druid because Spreading Plague. So I made some adjustments to be better against Spreading Plague. I swapped out whatever other 2-drops I was playing for Stubborn Gastropods. So normally what happens is you play Call to Arms on 5, they play Spreading Plague, and you concede. But if you have Gastropod, Gastropod actually value trades with their 1/5s, so I think he's a pretty good inclusion. And just in general, he never trades that poorly. And then outside of that, I decided to take the deck in a more aggressive mech direction. And the main reason for that is, again, Spreading Plague. So if you play Call to Arms, pull out a bunch of garbage, your opponent plagues, then at least you can, like, buff one of your dudes with War Gear or Ziliax to punch through. Or if you're just curving out and don't play Call to Arms, you just go, like, 1-drop into 2-drop, and then maybe turn 3. I guess turn 3 you probably play another minion, but then one of your minions probably dies to, like, a Hero Power or Wrath or something, and then you can slam War Gear, strap it onto one of your dudes, and then you only have, like, 2 minions in play. You're not even that weak to Plague, and you still get to apply plenty of pressure. But of course it's Druid, so they have 1 mana deal 6, which often still kills your War Gear thing, but you know, can't play around Druid perfectly. And overall, I think the mech thing still fits with the theme of the deck. Really, you're just trying to dump the garbage out of your deck with these things, so you can draw into your power cards. And I would say that War Gear and Ziliax count as power cards. Plus you can play Kangor's Endless Army, which is, you know, obviously a power card. I'm not 100% sure on the mech package. Right now, I think I'm playing 9 mechs, which is maybe overkill for the Endless Army, especially since you can pull the mechs out of your deck pretty reliably. But I haven't had too many issues with it so far, and 5 of the mechs, including the Glow-Trons at the bottom end, are magnetic, so you can kind of play around with what you're reviving somewhat reliably. The mech I'm the least sure about is the Unpowered Mauler. I figured I would give it a shot because this deck actually has a lot of spells, since we're playing, what, 7 secrets I think it is? And then we can find secrets with Subject 9, Call to Arms as a secret. And hey, this guy's a 2-mana 2/4. It's pretty good. But in the few games I've played with him, he has been a little bit awkward. I just don't really know how I would replace him. Maybe you can just play Plated Beetle. Just use the frame bots as your upgrading bases most of the time. I also opted to add a couple copies of Unidentified Maul. I noticed that a lot of the versions of the deck I was playing just didn't have 3 drops, so add a 3-cost card, why not? And I went down to 1 Bellringer Sentry. I think 2 is just overkill alongside the Subject 9. If you draw the Subject 9, the second Bellringer Sentry usually doesn't pull anything. And if you draw like double Bellringer Sentry, it makes Subject 9 a 5-mana 4/4. I just think with the 7 secret package, that's a little bit too much synergy for the secrets. So even though the 80 games I played with this deck was completely ridiculous and very painful, I actually did feel like I learned a lot. But the main thing to keep in mind is, you want to be able to beat Spreading Plague, which I think compared to some of the previous versions, maybe this deck can do.